So then guys, the new iPhone 17 Pro Max was only announced about 2 months ago, and then time has flown by. But a lot of you guys are wanting to know what's going to be happening with the next generation of the iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max, Apple's next big product to bring out. And talk about new products, I have a new product that I'm bringing out, and the best thing I want to tell you about it is that my new product is actually going to be free for loads of you guys out there, and I cannot wait to tell you more about it when I announce it this November time. But that's a story for another day. But going back to the likes of the iPhone 18 Pro Max, today I want to tell you about 8 leaks and rumors that we've heard about it. And first of all, let's get started, all to do with the dynamic island. So with this number one or first leak, we've heard that dynamic island is actually going to get smaller on the iPhone 18 models next year. And this is fantastic news to hear, because dynamic island has been around since the likes of the iPhone 14 Pro models, and then it was rolled out to all the normal kind of iPhones a year after that. And I think the only iPhone that does not have it now is the likes of the E model, so the 16E. But the dynamic island size has stayed exactly the same. But it looks like that next year with the iPhone 18 models, it's actually going to be made smaller. And this is great news to hear, because dynamic island, I must admit, it is a little bit annoying that, for example, if you're watching, say, a short video or something like this, it gets in the way. Or even if you turn your phone landscape to play a game, or for example, watching a video, it does get in the way there. And it looks like Apple are going to shrink this down. Now, what I'm going to say is I'd probably expect it to probably go down by about 1/3 of the size. Don't expect it to be, you know, a tiny little line now or anything like that. It's probably going to be about 1/3 smaller, but you know, any improvement here is going to definitely help out. And the main reason behind that is that Face ID sensors are probably going to get their newest upgrade inside of it. So that means dynamic island doesn't have to be as big as it is now. And it has been noticed with the likes of the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max that the actual main camera on the front, the 18 megapixel one, definitely is a little bit smaller than we had with the previous years, but it is actually better. So this is great news to hear that dynamic island will be getting smaller. But then the second big leak that we've heard about is all to do with the design. Now, we're expecting the iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max to be very similar to the likes of the iPhone 17 Pro models. So the design and probably the actual size of them will probably stay exactly the same. But the biggest difference we've heard is that this square here at the bottom where your MagSafe is, where we've got the ceramic glass here, that this is probably going to be changed now, and it's actually going to be a bit more transparent this time round. So you might be able to see some of the inner bits and pieces of your iPhone. So for example, you might be able to see the MagSafe coils and the magnets and maybe the battery sitting behind that. So this is going to be a little bit of a different, slightly different look what we are going to get with the phone. Now obviously we're probably still going to get an aluminum finish. Hopefully Apple fix it this time that we don't get so easily scratched on our phones going forwards. But essentially, the design will stay the same, but probably the square bit here, like I said, it's going to be slightly more transparent this side, so you can see inside of your phone. But then after this, for the third big change we've heard about with this phone, is all to do with the chip. Now, obviously, you know, it makes sense we're going to get the A20 chip. We get a new chip every single year with the iPhone. But the big difference is with this time round, it's actually going to be made on a 2 nanometer process. So this means the chip, with all its transistors and everything like that, are actually even more closer together. So that means performance and efficiency are even better this time round. So we could actually see a nice bump up in speed and also a nice bump up as well in efficiencies, what will help out with the actual battery life of the actual iPhone 18 Pro models. Now, the other thing what does happen with making it into a 2 nanometer process, because everything's all more congealed together as it were, it does mean that the phone will run a little bit hotter. But because Apple invented that new vapor chamber, I think they're already planning that this was going to happen. So the good news is with that vapor chamber inside the likes of, say, the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and this coming along to the 18 Pro and the 18 Pro Max, so obviously this will help out a fair bit there. So this is good news to hear. But then after this, for the fourth big upgrade, what's also going to help out with battery life is the new C2 or C2X modem. So that's right, the likes of the iPhone Air and the likes of the iPhone 16e, they have a C1 chip inside of it, or the C1X inside the likes of the iPhone Air. But it looks like Apple are going to be rolling out the next generation of that chip into the likes of the Pro models. Do remember with the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max, we still actually have the older Qualcomm chip inside of it. It's very similar to what we had with the last generation in the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And this obviously was helping out with your 5G connectivity and all of that kind of stuff, mmWave and this. And it looks like the new C2 or C2X is coming along to the phone. And the greatest benefit out of it is that obviously that you will be able to get even more efficiency out of that chip. And this then goes in hand after saying this for the fifth big upgrade, and that is all to do with the network chip. So right now we do have the likes of, say, the N1 chip, and it's likely that Apple are probably going to create an N1X or even play the N2 chip for the next generation of the iPhone. Again, probably the biggest benefit out of this is that this chip will be even more efficient than the current N1. So obviously, you know, when you connect to your Wi-Fi and things like this, to make that even better, make that even more efficient this time around, this new N2 chip or, you know, N1X chip is also going to be coming along inside of this phone. So this is really good news. And when you combine all of these new bits and pieces, the A20, the likes of the C2 or the C2X and this N1X or this N2 chip, you can imagine you're going to get some fantastic new battery life efficiencies inside the likes of the iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max. So then guys, just quickly, I want to tell you about the giveaway we're doing on this channel for this right here. That's right, I'm going to be giving away to one lucky subscriber on this channel in mid-January 2026 an iPhone 17 Pro Max. And the best thing is that any subscriber out there can enter into this giveaway. All you have to do is just two simple things with this. And I'll tell you about that in just a second, because let me tell you about this iPhone 17 Pro Max. It is the baseline one with the 256 gigabytes of storage, but more importantly, it does actually have a physical SIM card slot, because I know a lot of you guys out there in some countries don't allow to have eSIMs yet. So I've made it actually compatible to work with any country out there because this is an international giveaway. But to enter in, like I said, the first thing you need to do is just put down into the comments below of what technology gear you're hoping to still get at the end of 2025 or even early 2026. Maybe it is going to be a new iPhone. Maybe it's going to be a new Apple TV, a new MacBook, or something else completely different. Maybe nothing to do with Apple whatsoever. It could be a Nintendo Switch 2, for example. Well, whatever it is, let me know in the comments below right now. Now, the second part of this giveaway is going to be happening around about mid-January time, where I'll be making a video giving you even more details about the giveaway, including a form to fill in, and most importantly too, when I'm going to be doing the live stream to give away this iPhone 17 Pro Max. So the best thing that you can do right now is to make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, because you won't want to miss out on that video. Plus, you also want to be a subscriber too, because like I said, I'm giving this away to one lucky subscriber. The last thing I just want to quickly say to you guys is that sadly there are still lots of scammers and spammers out there. People still impersonating me, tending to WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram direct message. Please do ignore these people. Best you can see right here. Please do report them. But moving on from this then, for the sixth big upgrade, and this one is a big one in my opinion, and it's going to change so much everything with your iPhone, and that is you'll be able to have 5G internet connectivity via satellite. And this is a big deal. It means then that you wouldn't be fully dependent on cellular masts out there or anything like that. So this means then that, for example, if you even went on a plane journey, that you'd be able to connect potentially to satellites in the sky while you're on a plane, what would be absolutely amazing. Now, obviously, I know on flights quite a lot of the time now that obviously it's just for takeoff and also for landing. They ask you to put your phone in airplane mode, but you can obviously turn that off, you know, during the flight now. A lot of, you know, airlines are doing that, but you can imagine how much that's going to change things. Or even not just that, when you've just got no signal around, that you can just be out in the middle of the woods or no matter the sticks or somewhere like this, no matter the middle of the desert, and you'd be able to still connect to the internet. This is going to be a big thing. And this is why, like I said, with this next generation of the C2 chip or the C2X, I think this is going to be a big change of what we're going to get here. So this is one to keep an eye on, and like I said, it's the one I'm most excited about. But then, moving on for the 7th big upgrade, something else what's also going to be changing is all to do with the cameras on the back, or specifically, I should say, the main camera on the new iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max. We've been told that Apple are working with Samsung on a brand new sensor to be added into the phones, the main camera. Maybe Apple might even be putting in a 200 megapixel sensor like what Samsung have done, and especially that sensor has boasted out in so many of their sort of flagship phones this year. For example, the S25 Ultra, the likes of the Galaxy Fold have it, and even the likes of, say, the Galaxy Edge also had that sensor. And it looks like that next generation of that sensor could also be coming along to the likes of the iPhone. But paired along with this, we've also been told that we're probably going to get a variable aperture put inside of this phone, very much like how DSLR cameras right now. And just in case you didn't know how a sort of variable aperture works right now, you must have seen it with a camera when you actually sort of twist the lens and things like this, that you see bits and pieces moving, as it were, like these black sort of shader bits going in and out. Well, that actually affects how much light is actually going to the sensor behind it. And what you'd be able to do is that you'd be able to control that. So this means that, say for example, you're on a super bright day and everything is being completely washed out and blown out, that you'd be able to adjust that and let it less light. So you could probably focus more on people inside of the frame of the photo. And it could work the opposite way around as well. Let's say you're taking a picture, say in dark light kind of photography. You could actually let more light in. And also, like I said, with this new sensor that Samsung are working on with Apple, it looks like there's some new technology being added into this, so there'll be less noise as well. So those low light sort of photography, it's going to really help. And also I can imagine this is really going to help out with doing videos too. But then finally, for the 8th big leak that we've heard about for the iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max, and that is we're also going to get a new capture button, or more like the capture button is going to be readjusted or redesigned. We've had this leak in recently telling us that this is going to be adjusted. It's not actually been clear exactly how the design is going to change, but it looks like it's just going to be changed somewhat. I'm guessing as more renders and things come along in the future, we will get a bit more of an explanation how this is actually going to work. And especially like I've just talked to you about, say, that variable aperture and things like this, you can imagine that obviously I think Apple are going to be working away how to sync these both together in a way. So this is one to keep an eye on too. But like I said to you guys, you know, it's going to be a long way away. We're talking still 10 months away from the release of the iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max, and yet we're still probably going to get loads more leaks and rumors coming in. If you want to continue on with this journey, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell too. And the other thing as well, guys, if you enjoyed watching the video, please also do press the like button. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.